Ready? Are we ready?
Have we been to San Bernardino?
I don't think so.
We've been to California a bunch, including Southern California.
Santa Cruz, San Diego, LA,
Carlsbad,
Carlsbad.
Valencia, Anaheim,
Where's Gilroy Gardens?
Northern.
Okay.
But then again, I don't know where San Bernardino is. Anyway,
It's gotta be down by LA somewhere.
anyway, this is a shout out from somebody who I had to pay $7,000 in order to use the rights to say his name.
You did not. He suggested we review this.
Well, I asked him. Pizowell. I apologize.
We got you, dude.
Sorry, people, I have a slight sneeze. So anyway, talk
to him. Okay, so we wanted to, after my dilemma of repeated actors, actresses, and blood and all that, so we reviewed Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. It was funny. Oh, it was clever. It was creative.
Okay, phew, better.
So it wasn't too bad. This old lady that shows up at the house.
So anyway, how I know about this movie is because he was doing one of his Saturday night live streams, I think that's what it's called. And this was one of like at least five movies that is stuck on VHS, DVD, Laserdisc, or Hi-8 tape or whatever.
He wants it on Blu-ray, right?
Blu-ray, 4K, or an updated Blu-ray, because this is just stuck on DVD via the Warner collection.
Yeah. Okay, but Warner.
And well, dude, you got the keep. Let some of us have a movie that we want released. Don't be greedy.
Everybody listed movies they wanted released on Blu-ray or 4K.
Yeah.
I'm sure you did.
I wasn't on that live stream.
Ah, got it. Sorry.
So he mentioned this movie and looked it up. Here's what's weird. On IMDb, it says it's rated PG-13. In the commercial...
I want to see it. Just a second. Give me it.
In a commercial, it says it's rated PG-13.
But on here, can they even see that, Justin? Focus. There. That's pretty good. Oh, that was good. Yes.
PG. You see right here? PG.
PG. Oh, now we're blurry. Woohoo! It focused on that, and now we're blurry. Stick your head at the camera. Hello, hello, hello.
I think we're back a little bit. Yeah.
No, we're still blurry.
Whatever. No one's watching.
So it's not your eyes, folks. You don't need glasses.
No one's watching this for my sex appeal. They're watching it for your enchantment.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like, the heck?
No. Anyway. Just get closer. Ah, da, 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 da. Oh, nobody wants to see me closer.
Wow, this is weird. It'll have to do, okay. It says it's Home Alone times 5. I don't know if I necessarily agree with Home Alone times 5. This to me reminds me more of a movie, a Michael J. Fox movie that was made in the late 80s called The Secret of My Success. Where this is not quite a remake, but it would not shock me if the writer or director did see that movie, because that was about Michael J. Fox essentially lying his way to the top, and he had like 20 pseudonyms, and a weird relationship with his aunt.
You got that, Kenzie Cat? Okay. He just stares at you talking.
You want to stop the recording?
Oh, come on.
Better, people.
Okay, I think we solved it. Good job.
Yeah. So anyway, with a relationship with an aunt. This movie, this also kind of reminds me of this movie, Wood Chipper Massacre.
Which I didn't want to watch.
I think I showed you the trailer.
Yeah.
Or I showed you Snob's review of it. But it's kind of similar to this, and it was made a few years. I think it was made a few years prior. I think that one came out in like 88 or so. And in that movie, there were 3 kids that were being babysat by the babysitter from Heck.
Like this one, the drill sergeant with her whistle.
Well, she was
had
just
to wear
annoying.
name tags.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was just annoying. So
she was so sweet in front of Mom. As
So
soon as Mom left, okay.
so in that movie, so in that movie, she accidentally kind of gets killed, and then she gets put into a wood chipper off camera.
Okay, so this lady kind of falls asleep and dies.
Yeah.
And she had all the money that Mom left for groceries and entertainment in her pocket. So they were
After
going to
a while,
put her down in the cellar, but she wouldn't fit.
Was that the cellar?
A tornado shelter like cellar. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was just like a big garbage bin or something.
No, it was in the ground. There were steps. They had to measure to see if she would fit.
Then why were they worried if she would fit if they could fit?
Because they're made very small. You're like cramped in there.
Okay, whatever.
So
anyway, they flip a, what is that type of pizza?
Celeste.
Oh yeah, ugh.
Long time ago.
That I prefer other pizzas, thank you very much.
Okay, fine. So what did they do before they flipped to see who was going to get a job?
Well, they
left her off at a funeral.
Yeah, they looked at the thing and then realized that the babysitter had taken all the money and left it on her. So
well, they left her at the funeral home that said, "Nice old lady, died of natural causes."
Yeah,
that was on her gravestone.
So
well, we should give her a little service. She left us all this money.
So they flipped the pizza.
It was probably about $1,000.
We should probably talk about this cast real quick. Okay, you've got Christina Applegate as Sue Ellen, she's the oldest one, and she's
17.
Yeah, she's kind of like the matriarch. Is that the term?
I guess you could say that, the older sister.
Yeah, she's kind of like the default leader. Then you've got the other. It does not even tell you the other kids' names. Wow, or the characters'
Ronnie, wasn't it Ronnie?
There's one guy who he's a stoner. That's pretty much it. Yeah, he's a stoner, and there's not much else to his life.
And everything else. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he finds Julia Child on TV. And he starts making waffles and everything else and cleans himself up.
Who is this character?
That was okay, so she's the oldest, then him, then her, then
Yeah, I need to know, who is he?
He was a brother. He's the one that took money first out of
right.
Out of the thing. He was going to take money out of his mom's purse, and then his mom said, "Just ask for the money." And he says, "Mom, can I have some money?" No. Then he takes it out of her petty cash.
Then there's skipping it. Then there's the youngest son who, rest in peace. And that's all I'm going to say. And then there's the daughter, or the youngest sister, Danielle Harris.
You mean the kid that broke his leg?
Yeah.
Oh.
So Christina Applegate works at a place where, okay, I know this is one of your swear words.
No, it's not. Just I don't like it.
But I did not know clowns were in this movie.
Yeah, it was like a
clown dog. It was like a
clown dogs, hot dog place that had clowns.
No, they also had burgers.
Okay.
So it was probably like a knockoff Chuck E. Cheese.
Yucky. And a lot of fat, and a lot of cheese, and a lot of...
It was 1990 when this came out.
Okay. I think I have a sliver.
I'd be shocked if they had diet soda at that place.
Yeah, she said that she had Tab or something. She had,
That's at her second job.
yeah.
So anyway, after about a day of looking at not so great chili, which I don't know, that looked more like beef.
Oh God, sloppy Joe
Yeah,
greased over.
it did not look like chili. It looked like sloppy joes. And then she had to.
Of grease. Ugh.
Now, would you rather clean the grease or the fat back?
The floors.
No, you have to pick one of those two. So anyway, she forms a relationship with this dude.
Hardly, it was one day.
The beginning of a relationship with this dude who says, "If you don't like this job, why don't you just quit?" And then this guy who says, "Hey, you know what you're missing? A big happy smile."
When the place is closed and you're cleaning up slop.
No, you're cleaning up fat.
Slap.
You don't need to smile. Who are you impressing?
Oh my God. And so then she quit.
So then she sees an ad for a model,
No,
a magazine company or yeah, a magazine.
it was a fashion company, and they needed a receptionist.
So she just copy and pasted from
How to make a good resume book.
And you
oh
know,
my God. She didn't realize what she was copying.
Hey, do you want a hint that this movie was made a while ago? They use a typewriter.
Yeah. And she's like, think, with long fingernails. Think.
Weren't computers Weren't computers?
She had computers. But she didn't have one at home.
Well, why didn't? How poor is this family when they couldn't?
It was a single mom.
Okay.
Because the dad really wasn't in the picture.
Her. Give up for swelling of your face, mouth, tongue, or trouble.
Sorry, people.
Don't stop asthma treatments without talking with your doctor. Tell your doctor if your asthma worsens or you have a
TV just came on. It can only be delayed so long. Sorry about that, folks.
Well, I was never monetized. I wasn't monetized anyway, so.
I don't think they understood what it was about.
If that had played, that company could have taken all of the monetization from this video. Still.
We were talking.
5 seconds it could have taken it.
Okay, whatever.
So anyway, she goes in for the receptionist job, and then this
And the receptionist was like, do you understand? You are supposed to go to personnel on the first floor. A big sign over the door. Personnel.
This lady.
Oh my God, what a.
This lady looked like a combination Miranda Sings, and also looked like.
I've seen her before.
Also, yeah, she was on a few episodes of that
Major Crimes
show that you watch. I don't, but
yep.
Not now, buddy boy. But she also kind of looks like what Danielle Harris looks like nowadays too.
Okay. But she played her part pretty good.
Fun fact, Jennifer Love Hewitt was considered for the role of the younger sister.
What younger sister?
The
little girl? The young one? Really? She was that young?
It was around that
Christina
time, yeah.
Applegate,
yeah.
Was older than her?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Also, Christina Applegate was not the first person considered. They originally wanted Winona Ryder.
Ooh. Yeah, that might have worked, but
she chose to do some other movies I can't remember. And I think I can't remember what his name is. Edward Furlong, maybe, was considered. He had to choose between this and Terminator 2, so he picked the indie film Terminator 2.
Probably a good choice.
So anyway,
I don't know. This is bothering me what that is.
So anyway, Christina Applegate, the head lady, looks at her resume and is like,
wow.
You're overqualified for the role of the receptionist. Why don't you be my assistant? She's like, okay.
She's a fast learner.
And that's when she found out that there was a, what is that called with the petty cash fund area. And
to use it for lunches and office parties and stuff.
Yeah. So she took like $3,000.
No, she took $100.
No, it said 3,000.
The kids.
No, at the end it was $3,000.
Yeah, the kids took it for the entertainment center and stuff.
Eventually, she took $3,000, thinking that she was going to pay it back because she was like, "Hey, I'm going to get paid $1,000 I'm going to get paid $1,000 a week or something." And then it's revealed that she only made like $700. So she's like, "Ooh."
Because they took out for taxes, they took out for pension, they took out for
Retirement.
401k, retirement.
Yeah.
So they took out half of her paycheck.
As this movie goes on, the older brother, I really got sick of him real fast.
Until he got hooked on Julia Child.
Yeah, okay. What? Oh.
So then he was trying to make apples, and then he was,
terribly.
and he was going to make something for the dinner party.
That was going to
And
involve
he's like,
shrimp.
I needed shrimp.
Yeah.
I need shrimp for this recipe. You've got to find me shrimp. Well, we don't have shrimp. Find me shrimp. You know, it's like
Economize. And this house pretty much looks destroyed,
like a war zone.
like a bunch of there were 4 kids, or there were 5 kids, but one of them was a stoner and 3 of them pretty much did nothing. And one of them, in order to do the dishes, throws up a dish so one of them can like shoot a gun at it or something.
Yeah. Because
dishes are done, man.
So he was shooting the dishes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Wouldn't she have noticed after a while? Anyway, so she implies, so at the job she's hinted at like, what, 28 or so? But in reality she's like 17. So, and then that receptionist who eventually doesn't like her finds out, or thinks it's weird that
Pause it.
it can't be paused any longer.
Okay.
Talk
okay,
so
stop.
talk because
Stop.
you interrupted me.
I wanted to see the cats.
Bummer.
Sorry, folks.
Turning it off.
So she portrayed that she had gotten a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
She had 2 children.
Who?
Yeah, the boy that broke his leg from falling off the roof.
I thought she... Okay.
And the girl at the dinner party.
There was another child, wasn't there?
2 of them. She claimed 2 of them were hers.
Okay. One of them was like a cousin or something, or a brother, or stepbrother.
And what was really funny is they started acting like a couple, like mom and dad.
They were like fighting over my food. The food would have been better if you had called that you were running late.
Well, I had a long day, and the meetings ran over and all that. I do respect you.
So anyway, the receptionist doesn't like her, doesn't like Christina Applegate, and thinks something's up. So then,
She keeps trying to prove it.
with the help of David Duchovny.
Yeah, young David Duchovny.
Yeah.
Wow. Before his series.
X-Files?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Evolution.
X-Files was probably, I'd say, maybe 4 to 5 years after this. Because
5 or 6, actually. I think he came on like 96, 97.
Because he was really young in this.
There's a movie out there where it's called The Rapture with David Duchovny, and you see more of David Duchovny than you'd ever want to see, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't want to see.
That was one of the films.
Back to the movie.
That was one of the films that one of them wanted on Blu-ray. What is that guy's name?
I don't know.
Jess, I think, who does like Cauldron, I think.
Whatever.
Yeah, I think Cauldron.
Okay.
Cauldron, and he also does there's a site. there's a site where as long as the movie is in production, he could get it for you legit. It's
Whatever. Let's talk about this
Blue
movie.
Underground?
You can talk about that after. Probably from China. Whatever.
He's American.
The movie was probably from China if you're talking about Cauldron and Blue, whatever.
No, Cauldron Films is
Okay.
where he acquires licensing, like City of the Living Dead.
Okay. So back to the movie.
So anyway, they're trying to figure out like what's up with her because she's now an executive assistant when she just went in for a secretary job, receptionist job. Then the the little brother, when he, or maybe it was the middle brother, I can't remember. One of the young ones, somehow gets like a huge like system set up.
Entertainment system.
Yeah, with like a bunch of VHS tapes. Cool.
Because of the money he took out of petty cash.
I know. Anyway.
So now.
However, the TV doesn't work, so he works on the satellite dish because the stoner brother
won't help him.
Is just hanging out with his friends. Quote unquote friends.
So then what happens?
And then he falls off the roof and
breaks his leg.
And I did not know time in this movie, like how much time had passed. Like, I thought it was only like maybe 2 weeks after. It was only.
Well, the mom was going to be gone 2 months.
Yeah, she was going to be gone 2 months, so I kind of assumed that only like 3 weeks had gone by, but it turns out 7 weeks had gone by.
She was supposed to be back the following week. So. Instead, because petty cash was way down.
So then the company Christina Applegate is working at kind of goes under because of the thought about school uniforms.
So they needed fresh ideas for uniforms.
So she suggested a bunch where they kind of look like Alicia Silverstone wore in Clueless, kind of. Like very very early, late 80s, early 90s, like everything is bright and as bright as as bright as possible, pink, orange, yellow.
They had black
Get
and
as
white.
much of those as you can in there.
They had black and white.
Mm-hmm.
The nurse, whoa, I don't know if any nurse that's gonna wear that. Maybe for Halloween.
We should ask your sis.
Yeah. They would not.
So anyway, oh, by the way, the boy, because Christina Applegate doesn't want to tell him where he works, the relationship kind of just stops, and
they had a fight.
Yeah, they had a fight and an argument. And then
because she couldn't go to the baseball game because his sister is having problems with somebody that got the executive assistant job, and she's trying to tell him maybe that person is nice. No.
So then, at the end, the boyfriend confesses his love, and she decides to confess everything, especially with the mother arriving there. And this is true, but in this movie, we don't even know the mother's name.
Well, it's just Mom.
Yeah. We don't know the mother's name, so yeah.
And she comes back, and oh my God, the house is clean. New entertainment set. Oh my God, her son is cleaned up. He's cooking.
He wants to go to culinary school.
He wants to finish high school and maybe take some home ec.
I guess
and cooking.
We've kind of pretty much told you the entire movie right now. But there is one, well, we might as well tell you one more subplot, if you can even count this as a subplot, where the boss's husband?
No. Somebody at the firm, she's kind of not fooling around with or taking it seriously, and now it's going to...
in a relationship with?
Yeah. Mostly dating.
Is hitting on Christina Applegate.
Yeah.
And
he was a total dish bag, and he came...
Dish bag?
He came to the party. and he was trying to hit on her, and she took a squirt gun and kind of sprayed his pants.
Odd, but okay.
Well, because now it looked like he had a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Then he had to try and cover it up because there was a designer firm that wanted to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I can understand. I can understand if you like grew up with this movie that you would love it. For me, it's not that it's a bad movie. It's just watching it in 2025. It's pretty. It feels. It's very dated.
Probably just.
Because-
Did you feel The Adventures of Babysitting was dated too?
I don't know if I saw that movie.
Oh my god, that is so funny. That is funny.
But I don't know if I don't.
I don't think I
To
would
me-
buy it,
to
but
me,
it was
this-
good to see it.
I'm sorry. He's a well. The two parts that make this movie feel very dated is one, the typewriter.
Okay.
The typewriter
so,
instead of the computer. And the second one is
her clothing.
no, there is no way an employee or a boss would hire somebody without looking at their driver's license or
It was
some
just-
kind of ID. It's like
Yeah, many people got hired without that. Because now they have to do an I-9. Okay?
yeah, so
But,
but I'm like, come on.
it was
even
a movie.
Yeah, but I'm like, come on, even in the mid 90s that would be
Well, she didn't like the receptionist that was applying for
Yeah.
the job. Oh my god. So anyway,
I'd recommend people see it.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was a good time. I wanted to see the end. I wasn't expecting the mom to come home early,
Mhm.
but it played out just right.
Just remember, people, the movie is PG-13, not PG, as Warner Brothers would have you imply. Because by the time that they did the finger and then they said some swear words, I was like, wow, PG meant something else back in the day. And then I looked it up on IMDb and we saw one of the trailers for a special feature, and it was like rated PG-13. I'm like, okay, that makes way more sense.
Yeah. Okay. So make up your mind. It had some good laughs. Okay?
Join us next time where it's
Is it your turn or my
you know what?
turn?
We're going to take a break next week, but after that,
Boom 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 boom.
Space Month.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.